It's the 16th of January 2019. I'm David Griffin. I'm here at Aston-on-Trent, and I'm talking to
Liam Biggs.
David Neal.
Mike Selby.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us as part of our Oral History of Cricket in Derbyshire project. You've got long connections with Aston-on-Trent Cricket Club, and I wonder if first of all could you just go down the line and just tell me a little bit about your earliest associations with the game.
Well, I went to Swan Park Grammar School in the late 50s. We went down to Derbyshire trying to learn to play cricket a little bit then. Dennis Smith was the coach, and get forward was about the only words he said. From there on, I played for Chaddisden for a little bit, and then I joined Qualcast Cricket Club, and I played for them quite a long time, till 1976 when I lived at Spondon, but I played for Qualcast, and then I moved to Aston in '76, and then played for Aston from 1977 till far too late, about 1999 I think it was.
At what age were you going into the county ground to be coached by
about
Dennis
12-year-old I think.
And on what basis was that then? Were you invited?
School.
Really?
Yeah.
And you were coached by the county coach because Dennis
Yeah.
I mean, Dennis was an England player and won the championship in 1936.
Right, yeah. We had a very first year there we hadn't really got a good sports guy, but Colin Brown, you probably remember. Colin Brown was my sports master. He was an awful lot older.
But you'd have to find a school that played cricket now before you could even go down to the ground. I don't think you'd get the current coaches.
Well, I mean, we played on Saturday mornings with the games against other schools. So,
wow.
And the teachers came along and sorted it out.
Marvellous. David, your first...
Yes, 1974 when I joined, I was 28.
When did you play cricket?
And I didn't at
Really?
all. No, not at all. I played quite a lot of other sports, as Liam will probably tell you, but I started when I was 28, under the, if you like, auspices of Captain Mannering, a chap called Reg Taylor, God bless him, and he's a well-known cricketer in the circle, and he helped and guided everybody as they came in. I was very much instrumental in starting the second team in 1974 because there were about 15 players that actually wanted to play, but in fact we couldn't get a game, of course. And the team at the time had been very, very successful in the Border League, winning the Premier League, etc., which I think Liam was a member.
Yeah, I was in that team, yeah.
So it started there. I played football for the village since I was 11, and it progressed into the cricket. And I think I stayed for around about probably 9 years before my ankles gave in. So I was very much a latecomer to cricket, and well, after that, of course, the rest is history. I did a little bit of helping out afterwards with the committee and things. So I was very much a latecomer to cricket. I was very much. I was in for 3 balls and scored 10 runs. 4 for 11 was my best, I think, and 51 was my best score ever. So I was always in the second team, but played sometimes for the first team.
You're a cavalier cricketer.
Something like that, yeah. People would say other things, but there we are.
You got on well with Robin Marler. He was once stumped, wasn't he, as a night watchman, second ball for 6.
Yeah.
which I like that kind of cricket.
Yeah.
We'll come back to you in a minute. But Mike, where did your cricketing life start?
My cricket involvement was primarily at school, where I played down in Gloucestershire, that's where I come from, Forest of Dean, and played some cricket at Lydney Grammar School, which was the school I went to. Moved around with my career quite a bit, and eventually ended up working in Derby and came to live in Aston-on-Trent in 1980.
Right.
Always been keen to follow sport, still am very much so, and got involved down at Aston more on the social side, if I'm honest, although I did get involved with the cricket because I captained the veterans team. So we had a veterans side going back probably about 20 years,
Yes.
And I used to organise the players and ring round and get them to play. We played against the local pubs, and we played against the side in Long Eaton. Just had a good bit of fun with it all. And then I got myself really involved with more on the social side, the committee side, helping, organising, all that sort of thing, on the sort of admin and all that type of work. And then, of course, moving on, started to do a bit of work for Derbyshire, which I still do.
Excellent. You've already alluded to a Border League win, so I was going to come on to what was the sort of quality of the side when you gentlemen you first played in
77, yeah.
77. So what you were playing in the Border League?
It was in the Border League, which is
Division?
the top division. Yeah, the year before they won it. The year before they won got promotion
Right.
and came into the top league with all the star teams in those
Yeah, I
days,
was
with
gonna
Langley
say, so
Mills and the
you've got
like.
the big boys, so
Yeah, that's
Darley
right.
Dale, presumably,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
West Hallam.
Yeah.
So some good sides around, some good local cricket.
Oh, they're good local
county
cricketers. In those days, the way you got your points, you could stop people winning. So
Yeah.
West Hallam were stopping Langley Mill winning and things like this. Aston weren't expected to do anything that year, but by sort of mid-July, we'd won quite a few games and nobody stopped us winning. You know, they always thought they were going to beat us, really. I think so. We got a really good start.
And were there any outstanding players in the side?
We had some really good
was
players.
it a mix?
Yeah, we had some good players. The lads out the village, there was Lee Hilton,
Yeah.
super
Derbyshire
batsman. Yeah, a lad named Peter Cork was a really quick bowler. Keith Stevenson played as well. He was our first professional. Apparently, I think Reg Taylor paid him £2.50 a week, I think at times, and for that he had to prepare the ground as well. Rob Bunting, who else would there be?
Pete Sharrett, of course.
Yeah,
Since
Pete.
departed, yeah.
And were you alluded to the other sides trying to stop each other? What was their reaction to these upstarts from Aston-on-Trent?
I think it was quite good because the last game of the season we played Langley Mill away, and I think if West Hallam could win it, but we could win it, and I wouldn't say it was colluded, but no, Langley Mill did the best to beat. They were determined that it wouldn't be a draw, and we managed to beat them.
And who were you coming up against? Because obviously
Well, I played against Devon Malcolm. Played, I think, batted against him. Well, I think I did. I hit him for 3 fours, 2 through final leg and 1 over the slips. Later on, I was captain of Aston. There was Reg Taylor was the Captain Mandarin, as he called him. Reg Taylor was the man who made things happen at the cricket club. This was in 1974. They won the Jackson Cup. This is Reg here and Peter Smith. They were really good cricketers. Lee Hilton.
Harold Hilton, of course.
Harold Hilton, he was the headmaster in the village.
Charlie
His
Smith.
son, Charlie Smith, some good solid cricketers. The team that won it was Bob Young. There was a Bob Young. There was also a Bob Young at Obviously Bob was a different lad, but he was a really good cricketer.
Yeah. And did that success continue? Did you stay?
It continued for about 3 years, but unfortunately Bob got promoted because he sold brandy, so he was sent to France. Peter Cork fell in love and married a young lady from London. And a couple of others. Well, Keith Stevenson got a contract at Hampshire, I think it was, and so suddenly a top layer of the team went. Lee Hilton got promoted in the bank. He got moved to Peterborough. So we suddenly lost 4 really good cricketers within 18 months, I think, and it was. Never won it again. Never allowed to win it again. We won in the top league for 3 or 4 years.
Was it a fun time to play cricket?
Well, certainly as far as I was concerned, because I was very much new into it. Yes, I played at school, etc. But to play in the league with Aston, it was a very exciting time, certainly for me, because I like to have a swing of the bat, and I did connect quite a number of times, and of course I was out first or second ball, having scored quite a few. But they were good times, and the reason it was probably so was because at the time, and Neal and Michael know this, that the history of the club has had a checkered history, shall we say, and because the second team had formed when I started playing, it was all local players, so they're all village players, and I think that was the essence of what is now being achieved today with everybody here. So that was really the great thing, because as we all know, it's great after the game to have a beer and have a chat, etc. But a lot of people wouldn't drink because of driving, etc., and they used to clear off. But because everybody was a village, it was a very social thing.
Right, so that social, I mean, you talked about you became involved, Mike, in
very much so.
social side of it.
It became an important part of our village life. You know, we would go down there, we would choose that venue for birthdays, for functions, because it became really popular, and you could take the children, it was totally safe, could have a barbecue if you wanted to outside. All the facilities were there, and we absolutely loved it. And it was a big part of what we did in this village. I mean, I had my 40th birthday party down there.
Right.
You know, the hall now refurbished to a superb recreation centre, but in those days it was a smaller sports club, and it was well utilised and became very, very popular indeed. So everybody enjoyed going.
What do we know about the origins of Aston-on-Trent?
Well, from a bit of research, all I can tell you that it appeared that Aston Cricket Club was founded in 1860, according to
Really?
something I've found. But I, you know,
On the ground on which it still plays, or do we,
Yeah.
we don't know?
I would have assumed so.
Is that right?
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've never been
I think
aware
so.
of it being used for anything else,
They joined the
apart from football.
Derbyshire Border League in 1966.
Right.
They became champions in 1977.
And would it play league cricket of any sort before that, or would it?
No, that was the first.
friendly
It was
cricket.
friendly cricket before that. Well, I believe it was friendly. It was friendly cricket. I remember playing for Colcast against Aston in the late 60s when I came down here. And I think they were first or second year they'd been in the league, from what I could make it out. I mean, they had some good cricketers. I mean, Dennis Carr, who was secretary of the MCC, captain of Derbyshire from about 7 or 8 years, wasn't he? And was he secretary of Derbyshire? Well, I can't remember.
Yeah,
Or something
and
like that.
MCC.
And I mean, he was in the village and he used to play a little bit, I think.
Do you really?
He did play for Aston.
Yeah.
Tom.
Right.
Yeah.
Was it Dennis or Donald?
Donald,
Donald.
did I say Dennis? Donald, yeah. I mean, we had one or two personalities who had gone through the place. Reg Taylor, who we've talked about. I mean, Reg was secretary of
Yeah,
Derbyshire.
absolutely. The 90s.
Yeah.
John Smedley, who played for us, a young lad, he
Yeah.
took over as secretary of
Yeah,
Derbyshire. I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
Mike Alton, who was chairman of Derbyshire, I think it was all that sort of time.
Yeah, 93 to 97.
Yeah, Mike lived in the village and he played for the second team, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
We had one or two, like I said, Peter Cork was a really good bowler, but his brother was a chap named Alan Cork who played for Aston as well. Now, Alan Cork's claim to fame is that he was at Derby County with Tommy Docherty, and Docherty got rid of him and he went to Wimbledon, and he's played all his career for Wimbledon, playing in the 3rd division, 2nd division, 1st division, and got a
So
cup.
was he local to Aston, or?
He's Shelvenlock.
Right.
And Peter Smith, who was a village person, he was the excuse me, teacher at Shelvenlock School, and he brought Peter and Alan along, didn't he?
PE teacher, yeah.
PE teacher, yeah.
Shelvenlock, yeah.
So but Alan went right through, you know, sort of.
So you're older as a club than Derbyshire,
Oh yeah.
and probably older than most clubs in Derbyshire, I think. If you go back
Well,
to
well, I'd say I don't know.
66,
I don't know that early history.
160th anniversary next year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, there's a couple of book pictures in this. This is a Aston Village book, of which is the '74 Jackson Cup final team, which I believe they lost when I've researched it. And there was a wedding there in 1962 of Les Woodward.
Yes, Les Woodward, he was a
I mean, he
fast
got married when he
bowler.
was about 50 odd, didn't he, or something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that.
But
yeah.
his son, Colin, was a superb little bat, you know, and again
He went on to Burton Albion and
he
played
was a
for Burton
footballer
Albion
as well.
a footballer, yeah.
Yeah. He's got his own business up in the northeast somewhere these days, up in Scotland, I'm not sure. But,
And Mike, you talked about the facilities at the ground, about when you had your birthday party and all this kind of. So what facilities were there when you first came to Aston? And
right.
what ground developments?
Can I just butt in there?
Oh, of course you can.
The pavilion as it was, when I came, Reg was on about, we've got to get some money in, we need a bar. We hadn't got a bar or anything like this. So I was in the building game, and so Reg and myself, I did the drawings, and Reg and myself we guaranteed a loan with Iron Coop or somebody in those days, and we built the extension, and we put a bar inside it, and it really went well, and it did open the village up. I mean,
Certainly did.
both pubs objected severely at the time, but we got it.
Because people would choose between whether they would come to here or the other pub, the Malt, or come down to the ground. And Liam's just said about what had been done. That had already been done when I came. So we started to just make full use of the facilities, and the kids loved it. And it was comfortable, it was safe, that was so important, and became a very important part of village life. And there was a particular gentleman called, I touched on it earlier before you started, David. John Storr and his family got very involved. He was chairman, and his wife did the Jean, did the teas. He had 2 sons who both played for us, great cricketers, and they did a lot for the club in terms of its development in those days, moving it forward. And unfortunately, John sadly died suddenly, and that fell away quite quickly after that, and things changed.
Things changed from probably the mid-80s.
Yes.
That's when John died, I would have thought, and then we had just
Yeah,
collapsed a little.
yeah, absolutely. And just if I can sort of go back up to what Liam said earlier, on when before the bar came in, and even before that building was erected, the original clubhouse was quite a big, grand affair made out of wood. It had a very long sloping roof, and I can vouch for it because as kids, you know, from 9, 10, we used to climb up and slide down it.
Really?
That was, and the interesting thing, it had a rather large room, but the showers, because it was wood, were actually lined with very, very thick 1000 grade polythene to stop the water getting onto the wood. So it was really a bit of a, if you like, it wasn't a very nice place. And of course
But it did the job at the time.
Absolutely, it must have been grand in its heyday, but of course that came down, and eventually I think John Grattan, Bill Grattan, local councillor.
They did it, I was in the 60s, wasn't it?
That's right, they built that, and then consequently it's gone from there.
So, before we draw this first interview to a close, really we're talking, you played in the heyday years really for Aston-on-Trent. You said it's not like that we'll win a league again, but and I know that the club folded and was reborn again.
Yeah.
So what's your involvement now with the reborn Aston-on-Trent village of the club?
I haven't been involved basically since I packed up in 2000.
But it must
I
have
walk
been very
across
sad
and have a
for
look
you.
because I live next to the ground.
Right, but it must have been very sad for you to see the club that you'd been a part of fold, basically.
Yeah, but I feel that to a degree I feel a little bit responsible that we didn't bring the kids on, because we didn't really have a youth policy, whereas Elviston and Swartston did, and they got all the benefits of it.
Yeah.
You know. So to a degree I feel I should have done a little bit better and chase people around a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I support the boys and go down as often as I can with the family. We make it to Sunday afternoon or Saturday or whenever as a picnic. So you know, obviously I'm nearly a paid up member this year. Got the money here, but certainly I do support the lads. They've threatened to put the coat on to me 1 or 2 times, so I may do that this next season.
You feel that it slips.
Yeah, I did field
We've all got the feeling it's like
10 overs. I said I can't run, so can you put me there? So
I was so pleased when it was all reformed and these lads came along, because that's what we needed so desperately. And they've come along and they've done a cracking job. And again, from my point of view, it's supporting role, been to some of the meetings, become a social member, helped a bit, as much as we can, but you know, they've brought new life to it, and it's now down to them going forward.
Well, I'd like to thank the three of you for just giving us a kind of setting the scene of how the club came into being and the success that you had, particularly during the 1970s as football champions. And I know we're going to hear some more shortly about where the club is gone and where it's going now.
Yeah.
But for now, gentlemen, thank you very much indeed.
Okay, thank you, David.